And the fact is that the growing cases of COVID-19 has created a big problem, continuing the academic session offline. The entire country is badly affected, the entire academic session is badly affected. Children have been sitting inside. Sometimes the parents get irritated, but I would advise the children to keep in touch with online material that is being provided by any means, whether it is YouTube classes or whether it is your schools classes, because after all you have to continue these studies, because most important, this in this hour of crisis we have to keep in touch with the studies and make the children engage with the work. So today's video is based on correction of sentences, which is asked in all the competitive exams and in all the schools exam, board exams. So today I'm taking correction of sentences based on reported speech. The very first question is, he said that the sun gives us light and kept us warm. See, whenever you start a reported speech, remember, in the case of universal truth, never change the tense. So like he said that the sun rises in this, he said that honesty is the best policy, no need of changing the tense. So in universal truth, in the case of universal truth, don't change the tense. So here the right answer will be, he said that the sun gives us light and keeps us warm. In place of kept, it will be simple present, keeps us warm. Second question, he told to me that he had written a letter to his friend the previous day. Everything is correct here. Told never takes to. Told and asked never take to after it. So he told me that he had written a letter to his friend the previous day. Only to has to be removed, because after told and after asked, and never use to, the preposition to. Like he told me that he had written a letter. He told me that he had explained the lesson the previous day. He told me that he had explained all the lessons. He never used told to. Told and asked never takes to. Third question, I told him that these problems should be solved. No, in indirect speech, these becomes those. So I told him that those problems should be solved. These becomes those, this becomes that, here, there, ago, before, now, then, thus, so, today, that day, tomorrow, the next day, yesterday, the previous day, and so on. So never use these in the indirect speech. Always like she said that these books are very important. She said that those books were very important. R will change into were. Simple present will become simple past. Next question. He said that he was senior to me in age. He said that he was senior to me. No, he said he was senior to me in age. That has to be added, because in indirect speech always write that. He said that he is senior to me in age. She asked me that when the train left. Asked never takes that. Questions never, in any interrogative sentence in indirect speech, never use that. So he asked me when the train left. He asked me when I started for Mumbai. She asked me when I explained that lesson. She asked me when I had reached the station. She asked me when I left for New Delhi. Never write after ask that. That is not required in indirect speech. I advise him to work sincerely if you wanted to succeed. When you are using the object here, I advised him, object is third person. How will you write second person you? So the right answer is, I advise him to work sincerely if he wanted to succeed. I advise him to work sincerely if he wanted to succeed. No need of writing second person. Second person becomes third person in indirect speech. I requested him that help me. Request in imperative sentence, request, advise never takes that. So I requested him to help me. She requested her to help her family. They requested her to help them. Never use, I mean, that after imperative sentence, because in imperative sentence always use, you know, to plus all the, I mean, part of the reported speech. Like the teacher instructed the children to attend online classes. The parents advise the children to pay attention at studies. No need of using that. Always remember, the judge ordered the criminal to hand, like that. Never use, you know, that in imperative sentences. He greeted me and asked where was I going. No, in indirect speech always use subject plus verb plus object. So he asked me, he greeted me and asked me where I was going. First subject will be there, then verb. He asked me where I was coming from. She asked me where I was going. Never write auxiliary first. Always write S plus V plus O. Subject plus verb plus subject. So she asked me where I was going. That is the right answer. He told me that he had never seen such a lazy boy as I am. No, I am will change into I was, because when everything is past tense, where you will use present tense. No need of that. So he told me that he had never seen such a lazy boy as I was. And the last question, the teacher warned us to not sleep late. Actually, and miss the train. The right answer is the teacher warned us not to sleep late. See, whenever there is a negative sentence, always use first negation, then to. Like he warned us not to attend the classes late. She warned us not to wander here and there. The government warned us not to go in crowded places. The COVID SOP had guided us not to move in group. So always use not first, then to, then any other word. So that is what I wanted to discuss. This will help you a lot. I'm sure that way you will improve your studies in grammar. Thanks a lot.